Hey there, curious minds, and welcome back to What Is. Today, we're diving headfirst into a topic that often sparks more questions than answers, more heat than light, and sometimes more awkward silences at family dinners than any other. We're asking, what is atheism? What is it, really? Is it a belief system? A club with secret handshakes? A conspiracy to make everyone uncomfortable at Thanksgiving? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore what atheism truly means. Peel back the layers of misconception, and maybe even share a laugh or two along the way. Let's get straight to the dictionary definition. Because, as much as we love a good mystery, sometimes the simplest answer is the best. At its core, atheism is simply a lack of belief in gods. That's it. No more, no less. It's not a religion. It's not a worldview. It's not even a philosophy in itself, though many atheists certainly have philosophies. Think of it this way: when you say you don't believe in unicorns, you're not professing a belief in the non-existence of unicorns, right? You're just acknowledging that you haven't seen any compelling evidence for them, so you don't hold a belief that they exist. You're a unicornist. Catchy. No, atheism functions in much the same way. It's the absence of belief in a deity or deities. It's not an active belief that no gods exist. For most, instead, it's a position of not being convinced by the arguments or evidence presented for their existence. It's like saying, I'm not persuaded. It's not necessarily saying, I've proven there's nothing out there, which would be a far taller order. This leads us to an important distinction often made within atheism: the difference between Gnostic and agnostic atheism. Now, before your eyes glaze over at the fancy words, let's simplify. An agnostic atheist is someone who says, I don't believe in any gods, and I don't claim to know for certain whether gods exist or not. This is probably where the vast majority of atheists land. They lack belief, but they also acknowledge that ultimate knowledge on the subject is, well, ultimately unknowable. It's a position of intellectual humility. I haven't seen the evidence, so I don't believe, but I can't definitively rule out every possibility in the universe. It's a very reasonable, evidence-based stance. Then there's the Gnostic atheist. This person says, I don't believe in any gods, and I know for certain that no gods exist. This is a rarer, stronger claim. It's someone who feels they have sufficient philosophical or scientific proof to assert the non-existence of gods. Think of them as the certifiable no-gods here crowd. They're often confident, sometimes a little loud, and definitely great at winning philosophical debates. Probably, most self-identified atheists, if pressed, would likely fall into the agnostic atheist camp. It's a subtle but significant difference. Okay, now let's tackle some of the biggest, most stubborn myths about atheism. Because, let's be honest, there are a lot of them floating around. Myth number 1. Atheists hate God. This one always gets a chuckle. How can you hate something you don't believe exists? It's like hating the tooth fairy for not leaving you enough money, or being furious at Santa Claus for bringing you socks instead of that pony. It just doesn't compute. While some atheists might carry lingering anger about past religious experiences, that's not atheism itself. Atheism, as a lack of belief, is as emotionally neutral as not believing in leprechauns. Myth number 2. Atheists have no morals. This one is particularly pervasive and, frankly, a bit insulting. The idea that without a divine rulebook, humans would devolve into anarchy, stealing each other's lunch money and generally being terrible, is simply untrue. Morality is a complex construct, deeply rooted in empathy, human interconnectedness, societal norms, and philosophy. Most atheists adhere to universal ethical principles: don't harm others, be kind, contribute to society, not because a deity commands it. but because they recognize the inherent value in human well-being and a functional community. We don't need a celestial traffic cop to tell us not to run people over. We just understand that it causes immense suffering and is generally bad for everyone. Myth number 3. Atheists worship science, Satan, their own egos. Let's clear this up. Science is a methodology, a tool for understanding the natural world. Atheists value science because it provides evidence-based explanations, but they don't worship it. You don't worship your hammer just because it's good at hitting nails. As for Satan, well, Satan is a figure in specific religious mythologies. If you don't believe in the god from that mythology, you certainly don't believe in his adversary. It's like saying someone who doesn't believe in unicorns must worship their arch-nemesis, the anti-unicorn. It just doesn't make sense. And their egos, well, some people are arrogant, some aren't. That's a human trait, not unique to any belief or lack thereof. So, if atheism isn't about secret clubs, or hating sky daddies, or worshipping test tubes, what is it about for many? For many, atheism is a jumping-off point for a life focused on reason, critical thinking, and an evidence-based understanding of the universe. It often leads to embracing humanism, a philosophical and ethical stance that emphasizes the value and agency of human beings, and generally prefers critical thinking and evidence over established doctrine or faith. It encourages individuals to seek meaning and purpose within the one life they know they have, focusing on making the most of this reality. This can manifest in a rich tapestry of experiences. Atheists are scientists, artists, parents, teachers, activists, and everything in between. They hold diverse political views, enjoy different hobbies, and have wildly varying opinions on pineapple on pizza. What unites them is that single, core position, a lack of belief in gods. It's a position of intellectual honesty, of being comfortable with the unknown, and often of finding wonder and awe in the observable universe without needing to attribute it to a supernatural creator. It's about taking responsibility for our place in the world, defining our own values, and building a better society. Not for the sake of an afterlife, but for the sake of this life. So, the next time you hear the word atheist, remember, it's not a dirty word. Not a scary ideology, and certainly not a reason to panic. It's simply a person who, when asked about gods, says, "I'm not convinced." And in a world full of big questions, sometimes the most honest answer is simply, "I don't know. And I don't believe there's a divine answer out there either." And there you have it, a whirlwind tour through the what, the why, and the oh, come on, of atheism. We hope this episode helped shed some light and clear up a few misconceptions. If you found this explanation helpful, please hit that like button, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe to What Is for more deep dives into complex topics. Let us know in the comments below what other subjects you'd like us to explore. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.